Hello and welcome to Unschooled. You are here with me, Mandee of Sea Goddess Healing Arts, and the beautiful and amazing one and only Lexi. She is our mermaid in the mountains. How you doing, Lex?
Good. How are you, sister?
I'm good. I'm just excited to hold space here on Unschooled. For those of you who are just tuning in, Unschooled is just about holding space for all the things that we want to learn, all the things that we did learn that we might want to unlearn. We talk a lot about just kind of showing up for ourselves in a different way each and every day in this world. And in order to do that, it takes some co-creation and some action steps and some reprogramming and learning and unlearning. So Unschooled is about all kinds of things that you most likely didn't learn in school. However, we like to share things that have helped us along our journey and along our healing path.
Yeah, I feel like it's going from surviving to thriving,
Yes.
going from that feeling in life of like just trying to get by and living day to day, or feeling overwhelmed and you want to just thrive, right? We don't want to be in survival mode all the time. So creating that beautiful life, creating heaven on earth, learning to love ourselves, all of that good stuff that we weren't taught.
Yeah, we weren't. And we were taught to be in this survival mode actually. And what the way we created this society, it's very stress-based. And primally, we're only supposed to feel that kind of stress, that adrenaline, that cortisol shot to our bodies if we're under true threat and attack. And I'm not a mom yet in this lifetime, but I'm super in tune with my intuition, and Lexi's a mom, and there's a difference between that, like, stranger danger, somebody's going to attack you, and anybody, every single one of us can feel that. We know, like, if something's going to come and like get us, and it's going to be like not a good situation. But then we recreate that all the time because there's either a bill due, or we're late for work, or there's something we gotta do, or we're worried somebody might be mad at us, or all of these different things that we create these stories which replicate and create that stress in our body. And it's not good because we're doing that so much all the time, and it's supposed to be a very, very rare thing.
And what it leaves, what it does physically to the body, what it can do when you don't take care of it, how it can build up in the physical body and then come out as ailments, as emotional imbalances, a number of things. And you may not even realize that what's going on could be, really the root cause stress of some sort.
Yeah, we're often taught that if there is an issue going on in your body, it's just your body's fault, or it came out of nowhere, or, there's a chemical causing it, which could be the case. However, a lot of times our bodies are mostly faithful servants of our mind and our heart and the things that we're creating. So a lot of times when our body has a symptom of some sort, it's saying like, hey, I need some attention because there's a thought going on, there's a pattern going on, there's a stored trauma going on, and it's presenting in this way just to show up and to be cleared. Symptoms are supposed to be, seen and treated and then cleared and moved on, but it needs to pair holistically with mind, body, soul, and spirit. And when we're just treating symptoms or putting a Band-Aid on it, it doesn't always get to the root of the problem.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, so I, had my little stint of working in healthcare and thinking that I wanted to go for a nurse and, master's or PhD eventually. And having worked the healthcare industry and having just been in that industry while trying to heal myself and figure out my own symptoms that were kind of taking over my life. Now, I struggled, not to give too much information, but with like IBS. I struggled with ADHD or ADD. I struggled with PTSD, anxiety, and it would trigger the IBS. It was a nasty cycle. And it's always so quick to give you something. People always are come in, give me the pill. There's not ever going to be a pill or one fix for everything, right? Or that's going to fix you and make you something perfect. It's going to either alleviate the symptoms, mask the symptoms, hide the symptoms, right? It's never going to take care of it. So you get into that cycle. And so for me, it was like feeling unheard and
Mm.
feeling like I was getting nowhere. I was in this cycle of adding more symptoms and more problems. Anytime I tried to go to the doctor to try and, solve problems or trying to heal what was going on, and I always looked at somebody else to heal me, the doctor to heal me. But once I, ventured out, got some second opinions and tried a holistic route, wow, realizing how the problems were tied to energy issues, were tied, and that I was the one that could heal them, that my body could actually heal itself. Now I went from suffering, it's so bad where, I mean, I was miserable because of heartburn and an overproductive stomach. So I overproduced, acid, which would then cause, heartburn after drinking water. And they wanted to prescribe Prilosec, right? That was like one of the major things. And now it's coming out. There's lawsuits against it because it causes problems. Didn't feel right. My body wanted to reject it the moment I tried to swallow it, and I'd have to puke it up. When they tried to prescribe it to me, they thought I was making it up and did not feel right. My body was like rejecting it right away. But
Our bodies are so intuitive, and they will. I was just listening to a story this morning about a model who ended up getting toxic shock syndrome from using a tampon and ended up losing both of her legs. And that's something I'd always felt like since I was younger, like I really can't use tampons that much. My body gets really, really sensitive to them, and I just need to honor it. And your bodies will tell you certain things, even if everybody else around you says you're crazy. It's okay, and it's safe to say, no, this doesn't agree with me. I have so many friends who have suffered from whether it's, heavy metal poisoning or an allergy to something or all kinds of things where no one believes them because it doesn't show up on a certain test. I had gout for 10 years and got misdiagnosed because it didn't come up on tests. And it wasn't until I had an ankle surgery and they found all the gout crystals and they're like, yeah, you have gout. And I'm like, thank you. I thought so. And I was doing all these things that made it worse because I didn't know. And because I was listening to those outside of me and outside my body. When if now, like when I'm in balance, I know if I'm eating things that are making me not feel good or contributing to that, or if I'm not, exercising enough or working on my emotions, because a lot of my thoughts would contribute to that too. So I'm totally picking up what you're putting down, and I honor that.
Yeah, and it's like simple things is like, I don't know about you, but I used to struggle with allergies and dread every certain seasons every year because the allergies would be so bad. And it felt for a while like it was every year getting worse and worse to the point where I had fear, right? I'd literally fear about allergy season, what it would cause, feeling, I have 4 kids, so I can't be out. I cannot feel like I'm in a cloud. I cannot feel, I can't take Benadryl. Benadryl knocks me out so hard. I'm a zombie. One Benadryl and I'm a zombie. Like I can't do it. I'm so sensitive. So to learn, okay, local honey paired with some good, lots of water and some lymphatic drainage and some preventative measures, right? So doing some preventative things, and then starting to, put those in place. Now, allergy season doesn't hit me as bad.
Yeah.
And when it does start, so I know what to do, and I get to do it myself. I don't have to go to anybody. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, yes, I have to go pay to have some work done, that upkeep, which is great. It's that self-care. And I mean, when I need help, when I need somebody to do it for me, like it's time. I need to go get a session. We all got to take care of ourselves, even as people that are in the field working.
Oh, especially.
You know what I mean? Especially. We all
putting the oxygen mask on first.
Exactly. And that's like where it keeps coming from. You can't pour from that empty cup. You know what I mean? You can't, you can't. You got your bucket, you gotta have your bucket full in order to help fill somebody else's.
Yeah.
You really do.
Which is a perfect segue into a couple of our topics today, because we are riding the new moon in Cancer energy, which was over the weekend. And it's been very interesting because it's double water. We've got a double Cancer going on. Today, while we're recording this, we're in a void. Lexi brought to my attention for the next 24 hours or so.
It was from 8:29 a.m. this morning until 4:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. So close to 24 hours, just shy.
this time. But what they say though, when it's a full day like this, that's when it's like a good day to take the day off. That's when you could really feel sick. You could feel, which leads into, Mandee was complaining about all of a sudden the sinuses and the headache and the congestion. And it can make you feel tired, ineffective. They say to be kind to your body, to nurture your body on these days, to rest, to go to a spa, to listen to your body. How the moon has effects, you know what I mean?
It does. And it's so interesting because Lexi said too, she's like, yeah, it's just like, it was hard to even get up this morning and we could feel the energy. And for me, I think I have a lot of sinus issues because I played a lot of sports. I've had a lot of injuries and I've had some growths and polyps, a deviated septum, all that good stuff. So in the past, my sinus area hasn't worked the best for me. And it's been something that has gotten progressively better as I've healed myself and I've changed my diet and things that could cause it to inflame. But I also have to remember, like, it takes time to clear it. And so I've been swimming a lot lately. I've been out in the ocean and it's wonderful, but it's like a natural neti pot. So I've been getting almost like an over clearing. And I had a rough allergy season. I'd say I had to take an allergy pill like once a day for like a month in the month of May. And then I was able to take a little break from it for a while. And then now, it didn't give me too much of a hard time until I started swimming again. Hi, sweet baby Ryan. For those of you tuning in, this is baby Ryan. He likes to do knuckles.
We had a brief contact. Can you give some knuckles? Knuckles. Booyah.
That's my boy. Booyah. Hey. Yeah. So, it's very divine that we've had, love it. So it's very divine that we have all this energy happening today. And I said to Lexi, I don't really want to take, I'm feeling all this releasing and I don't want to take another allergy pill and I'm doing my honey and, I want to do things that'll just support my natural healing. And so Lexi does and teaches lymphatic massage. So we're going to do that in a little bit. But in the meantime, part of that cancer energy very much right now, if you don't follow Sea Goddess Healing Arts already, we invite you to. We have an incredible astrologist and aromatherapist, Ursula Duffy. She's just pure magic, and she wrote an incredible article and talked all about the energies that are happening right now with this double new moon in Cancer. So we had a really intense eclipse season. And that has since moved out, which is nice. But then we have the double Cancer, which is bringing a lot of emotional authenticity. So it's really important to just honor how you're feeling in the moment, even if you're feeling irritable or sad or super happy and ecstatic, whatever it is, or if something doesn't feel in alignment, if you're like, I've been friends with this person for a long time, but it's just not feeling the best, or, I haven't talked to someone in a while and I really want to reconnect with them. Just things are shifting and moving, and it's important for you to be honest with yourself about how the things that you're doing in your life are making you feel at this time, and a way you might want to rearrange that. It's important to also, with this energy, to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a super amazing, actually divine masculine quality, I believe, or feminine, doesn't matter. It's very powerful. There's such power and beauty in your vulnerability. And then as well as with that, relying in on your intuition at this time. This is what this portal is doing. This is what this void is doing. We just had the Sirius gateway, and we had all kinds of things moving and shifting. And so when a new moon hits, it's the time to activate the new. And so some things that you can invite in right now for action steps and co-creating with the double new moon and Cancer energy. Take time to do some self-nurturing, which is what we're going to teach you today. We're going to teach you all a lymphatic sinus massage or face massage, and Lexi will tell you more about it. And yes, it supports if you have allergies or a cold or, an illness or whatnot, but it also helps you to shift your energy, change your mood, help your hormones to regulate, give you a little bit of a boost, actually give you a bit of a facelift when you move the energies in there. So that's an action step that we're going to leave you with right here today on something you can do during this energy. It's also important to take a look at anything you might want to do that invites in your own self-healing. Something going on in this energy right now is really looking back at maybe some wounding or experiences or things that happened in childhood and with your parents. It's July is usually like summer vacation, heat of the summer here in the northern half of the world. And it's a time where things can get flared up, but it's also a time where things can come back together and heal, and to relook at things, and to remember we're all just victims raising victims, and everybody's a sinner and a saint, and we all, make mistakes, but it's how you show up in your authentic self. And, if you need to set a healthy boundary, set a healthy boundary. You don't need to go get in a big fight. You can if you want, but you could just say, I'm just not interested in engaging. Like, I'm sorry. That's a little rough for me. I'd be happy to have like a healthy conversation. Or if it's just with your own self, and you're going back in a past experience and it's something you can't have a conversation around, it's important to maybe take some time to invite yourself into what forgiving that situation or that experience would look like, and how, it might feel if you were to release the power that it had over you. So if you're feeling a little sensitive or emotional right now, that's what this new moon in Cancer energy is doing, but it's all doing it for you to rock you and recalibrate you and bring you into the next step of yourself and your awareness and who you are on your journey at this time.
Yeah, it's like clearing out the old to make room for so much new and good to come in. So, it's scary sometimes to go through it and face it, but it's just remind yourself in this time that this is a part of the process, and it's all for your higher good. Trust in it, and you'll be amazed.
It really is.
You really will. You will be amazed, because things work in such mysterious ways, and it's all divinity at its best.
Yeah, and just invite in the divine feminine gentle energy right now. Like, just be gentle. Be gentle with yourself, and sometimes that gentleness is the flow that you need to let go. Sometimes the radical things aren't what we need to let go, and we need that gentle, subtle energy.
And so we talk a lot of, I feel like I always talk a lot about like having your toolkit of things, right?
Oh yeah, we're all about that.
And so Mandee always talks about energy, like shifting that energy, alchemizing that energy, taking whatever negative energy or yucky energy you feel, because sometimes our energy just gets stagnant. And like, we don't realize like that our energy is more than just our physical body. Our energy field is actually around us, like up to like 6 feet away, even further. Like, you can sense
it's like 6 to 8 feet, your biomagnetic field.
They can take an accurate EKG of your heart up to 3 feet away, or is it 6 feet away?
Oh, I don't know.
Feet away. It's one of those, but yes, they can take an accurate EKG reading of your heart, which is its frequency. It's just getting your heart's frequency, your vibration, and it's amazing. So this energy around us, we can do things. There's things that we can do to shift it, to change it, right, and protect us, and take care of us. And so Mandee was like having this moment, and I'm like, ooh, this is a perfect moment to learn how to help yourself when you have an onrush of pressure in your head. It could be allergies, it could be a headache, it could be mental fatigue, mental fog, it could be under eye puffiness. This is just really good too if you're like, ever doing one of those in the mirror. Some ladies like lift up the jowls and you're like, oh, should I get a facelift? This is like a natural facelift. This is something you can do to yourself, and you can really see and feel a difference. And it's manipulating your the layer underneath your skin, your lymph system, your the lymph fluid. And we have, lymph nodes and all throughout our body. And these lymph nodes are kind of, now, over on Western side of medicine, they say that they're understudied. They don't know much about the lymph system, that it's kind of mystery. What they do know about it, it's kind of under talked about. Do you know what I mean? It's under appreciated. It's under treated too, because this is such a perfect place to just take care of yourself daily, your energy, the energy flowing through your body and your fluid, and how your body functions and works. This is the area that takes any toxins that have been picked up, from your skin, from your system, inside and out. It can collect and pull both of them, and then it directs it out of your body or back in, depending on what it is. If it is, the vitamin D from being absorbed from your skin to the sun. You know what I mean? Simple as that. So it's such a useful part of our body, but we under take care of it. So this is just so easy to do. And I if you're looking to start changing your energy daily, I invite you in to do this little routine in the morning. I like to do it in the morning when I'm laying down still, because I go through and I do Mandee's helped me like do this, create this amazing morning routine. And when I mean morning routine, I mean as soon as I wake up, this starts. And it's so simple, but it's been a game changer. And it's always evolving. It's always kind of, changing. And, there's things that I can change up in it as needed, as my needs change. And so it starts with this. And because this time, it's like getting my energy ready for the day, getting my face ready to take on the day. And so this can help in the morning decrease puffiness right even before you get out of bed. It can help prevent headaches for the day by doing it at this point too. This is a really great time to do it.
I'm adding this into my morning routine, because my goal is to I just don't want to take another allergy pill. It's like I feel it, I know it's there. If I take an allergy pill, it'll release it right away. But I want to I want to do that more naturally. So now I'm just gonna add this into our morning routine.
The reason why that this is preventative, that this is like naturally preventative, and this is also something that like in the Ayurvedic, they teach the dry brushing. This is what dry brushing is doing essentially. So you can do this with a dry brush. You can do this with those little rollers. I love gifting those jade rollers or the rose quartz stone rollers. They're great. You can use them for this too. But you want to start right on your neck. And this is such a light touch. This isn't a lot of work. You're not pushing into the skin. You're literally resting your fingers right on the skin. And so it has traction and you're pulling the skin down and then you're releasing. You don't want the skin to go back and forth. You want to just kind of gently pull the skin down. And you can feel how the skin has kind of got a little bit of a little spongy feel to it. There's that layer of fluid between your skin and the rest of your body. And that's the fluid that collects. It gets stagnant. That's when you can start to get swelling, puffiness. That's when you can have thyroid. It can then cause thyroid problems. As I am experiencing my tonsils, when I don't do this on a regular basis, will get a little enlarged. I'll get a little, hoarse sounding or congested. But this has been a game changer because I've been doing this pretty regularly now throughout, especially this season that I know I need it, the allergy season. And I have not had a bad allergy season in probably 2-3 years now. And
awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's so helpful and it's just all natural. You don't need to take anything. So start by doing that. And what you want to feel for is for the skin to kind of bounce up. And you want to feel, I looked until you kind of feel like almost like water, or like your mouth water, or water running down the inside of your mouth.
It feels like, and I felt like a couple of poppies.
Yeah, and you'll start feeling
area
shifting and popping, and you can even feel like the water running down here. So that's how you know you started opening it up.
While our listeners are doing this, if you have postnasal drip, often that's a sign from your body, emotionally on the emotional level, that there's like your inner child is crying and your inner child needs some nourishment and things. And so if you ever catch yourself with allergies or sniffles or things where you have drainage going on in your throat, it's often a sign to pay attention to your inner child. That's from Louise Hay, one of our fairy godmothers.
It makes so much sense,
doesn't it?
The next spot. So there's these spots that if you're familiar with tapping at all and you go through a tapping cycle, it's kind of like going through a tapping cycle. And you could probably even add tapping into this and make a mash of the two and have a really cool tap it, rub it. And that's kind of, what I do for myself. Especially when I want to change the energy. If you're doing this to shift your energy and to get that energy to change, add the tapping to it for sure. But so the next step, think of like you have almost like, I always like to think of it as pinwheels, like a water wheel in here, and that they stop. So in this water wheel, you want to think about is that it's getting water fed from up here, right? So you want to bring your face to it, and then it's going to direct it down to these ones. So then you got to go down. So from the neck, you go to these pinwheels and you just go down. And then you can go right under here And this is just kind of like taking 2 fingers and rubbing down almost right under the jawline. I don't know if you can see that very well. And it's just short little on both sides. And then the just hands on the skin and pull it down, let it go right there. And then you can go back down to your neck and you just kind of work it through, because you want to get them open and get the fluid directing. Think of it as you're the orchestra directing the fluid going in the right direction. So you can think of it as opening that one up now, making sure that's open and flowing good. You want to get the good flow started, and then you can come up to your face. And on your forehead, just nice, gentle across, starting in the middle to the side. This is always a good time to hit the pressure points right at the top in between your eyebrows.
That's my favorite.
These are great pressure points. It also helps open up your nasal. You can just think of yourself trying to lift the skull up and allow your upper just to lift it up. Allow for alignment. And then I like to go back up. It feels so good. I would love to know
opens it.
If anybody is following along and doing this, I would love to know, how did it feel? Did you feel anything? So the next one is,
I did. It felt like it almost cleared my third eye. Like I felt like I got clarity just from holding that.
Yes. And these are great for connecting too, and like creating opening. You can even do some visualization here. This would be great to have to do like a lead meditation along.
Coming soon from Sea Goddess Healing Arts.
It will be a tapping, lymphatic drainage, little self-care. And so this is really nice. And so if you're just doing the energy massage, just continue that. But while we're in this area, if you are suffering from sinus problems, I want to show you just a couple moves to do to really release the drainage. And I can attest that this is like the most mind-blowing. This is, neti pots are great too. I like to try and avoid anything that is chemical going up in those areas. So I would rather use a neti pot and then this. But this is, so you have these bones. You can just simply lift up on these. You can use your thumb to lift up. This is a really nice one. And you just want to push up and kind of up and out.
Like our mean faces on this one.
Yeah, it's just up and out to the side. And you want to hook under your cheekbone. Hook under it and lift it up. And it helps open up that nasal passage so that it can start to drain it. Now this one's a little rougher, but this one is amazing. And this is where you take your left thumb to your right cheek and you feel where your cheek bone is, and you kind of run down to your bottom. And you're ideally wanting to hook up under that cheekbone. This is not supposed to be comfortable. This you're supposed to use some force for. This is opening up your passages to allow for the drainage. So you're going to hold this here.
I feel it like in my ear already. It was like,
yeah. Then you're going to take your fingers and you're going to put them on your nose and pull. You're ideally pulling your nose one way and your cheekbone the other way. And we're going to hold for the count of 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and release. And then you can do the other side, and it will just be within a few minutes, you'll start to feel everything shift and empty out and drain out. It is so beautiful for any sinus, any cold, a natural way to do it. So the other side, right hand to left cheekbone, lift up, fingers across and spread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and release.
I feel like I just took an allergy pill.
I'll be right there. Put him in the tub. Put him in the tub. So then that with some of this will just help remove any of the fluid, because it's amazing what can get clogged and backed up and build up in there. And so just this nice and gentle. We're not trying to tug the skin. It's you're kind of creating this wave in the skin. And that's the fluid. And you can sit there and do this for as long as you want. You can go through as many times as you want. Obviously, the more you do it, the more fluid you can move and manipulate. But doing this in the morning for a couple minutes is just going to really help you create a daily practice that will open it all up. So the next one is, okay.
So that's baby Rye. He's rocking and rolling. He's the best though. And that was incredible. I literally feel like I took an allergy pill because I just want to add something in that's going to make a difference in my day. Because I really feel like when I take the allergy pill, like it does give me relief, but I feel like it does numb out like my forehead and my third eye area. And it gives you kind of that nummy feeling. And I'm like, I don't want that. I just want to like heal this and release this naturally and do whatever I need to do to keep the fluids moving. I've been doing my celery juice, by the way. Clears up IBS in 10 days. If you do celery juice every morning for 10 days, don't add the lemon, don't add anything else to it, just celery juice by itself. For our listeners, it helps so much. It cured mine. It cured mine so quickly. And it helps with all kinds of things. And especially releasing, if you have a yeast overgrowth or candida or things like that, it helps balance that back out. There's our boy, one of our favorite teachers here on Unschooled, the medical medium, Anthony Williams.
Is one of the validations, the book that validates, oh man, it's life-changing. This is a Bible everybody should have next to their bed, because it's just one of those ones, one of the pile that we recommend that she got me on, and it's been life-changing for me to the point where now my husband's even getting on because he's like, you're getting such great results. You are, you know what I mean? He's like, finally the changes that you dream of finding and creating for yourself. And it makes sense. We've been learning, the more research you do about what's in all this food that they say is organic and healthy, it's so scary. And so we've been teaching our kids about it, hoping that helps them make healthy choices too. But there's one last move, and it's just 2 fingers right along your chin line going up. And this is wonderful. If you have ever had like TMJ, or if you have any tooth, like an infection, abscess, pain, jaw pain, anything, this is a really good one. This is great too if you're experiencing any wisdom teeth, like extraction or prior to extraction. This is just good for the jawline. This is like a main move in the lymphatic facelift. It helps just so much. So, a little head and neck routine. So you just go through, just circulate, and that's it. As many times as you want or you feel you need, go with your gut, go with what feels great for you.
I'm breathing 10,000 times better. Yay. And it feels amazing. And I'm going to keep adding that in and see if I can avoid taking my allergy pill, because I just don't want to. And like we said, this is good, yes, for allergies, but for any sort of pressure, stress, just lifting your face up, giving yourself, the release of those baggy eyes in the morning, and just taking some time with your own body and your own vessel to nurture yourself. Am I getting knuckles? I think so. I think I am. There's my buddy, Ryan. You're like Superman right now. So that was just a little bit of what we did today here on Unschooled. We went over a little bit of what's going on with these Cancer new moon energies and some self-care and how you can capitalize on that. And we thank you for joining us here on Sea Goddess Healing Arts for this episode of Unschooled. I am Mandee Elam. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. We've got all the social medias. And this is Lexi Moriarty, our mermaid in the mountains. And how can people find you if they want to get a hold of you, Lex?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Mermaid in the Vermont Mountains, or VT Mountains, or Facebook too. So shoot me a message. I've been doing some wonderful lymphatic drainage and Reiki infused and sound energy healing infused sessions locally that have been amazing. I'll be sharing some pictures soon of before and after of some specific problems too I'm working on. So yeah, I'll be sharing my lymphatic drainage journey with my mermaids.
Oh, awesome. So thank you all so much for tuning in to Unschooled. We send you love and we thank you for being here, and we will see you soon.